Hello, everybody. I'm gonna story time with Mel, and I'm gonna read chapter one of the book I wrote. Read prologue. It's on there, but here it goes. 12 years later, in the seventh new place to live and counting, Jacob, now a teenager, is pulling his car into a parking space outside his and his mother's new place of residence. He turns off the engine and steps out of the car. Once outside, he scans the entranceway into the parking lot, and his mother is not there yet. So he walks back over towards his trunk, opens it, and sees 3 small boxes inside. He grabs only 2 of them, places one box under each of his arms. He then begins to walk up the sidewalk and possibly enter his new place of residence. But he quickly remembers that his mother has the only key in her possession, so there isn't any way he can get inside. So he turns around to walk back towards his car and sees his mother's silver BMW pull right up beside his own car. Once she exits her vehicle, she looks up upon her son and smiles. "What took you so long to get here? It feels like I've been waiting here for over an hour." "Serves you right. I told you not to go fast because I specifically told the movie men to be cautious with our belongings." As the movie men backs their box truck right in front of the sidewalk, Miss Whitmore begins to walk up that same sidewalk, followed closely by her son. The 2 movie men were also walking behind them, but at much further of a distance. They finally get in the main entrance to the apartment complex, walk up a flight of steps, and immediately stops abruptly that Jacob almost runs into her. Not giving him the fact that he is not paying much attention to her, he just wants her to open the door. Instead, she decides to stand there and look at him. She buries both of her hands into both of her pants pockets, pulls out a single key that is attached to a string, places the key in the door handle, and pauses. "Before I open the door, I would like to say something." She turns back around and looks upon her son once again. And what might that be? He already knows what she is going to say. She says it every time they move into a new place. "Home sweet home." She opens the door and allows Jacob to enter first. "Why, thank you. And I knew that you were going to say that." He walks into the apartment and gets kicked in the butt in the process. "Now, what was that for? You don't suppose to be smart as to your mother." Jacob thinks nothing of it and walks through the apartment. After walking through the living room and dining room, he enters a very short hallway. There are 3 open doors in this hallway. One is on the right-hand side, and it's a bathroom. Exactly across from that is the master bedroom, and that would be reserved for his mother. So with only one room unsearched and out of process of elimination, he enters the only door at the end of the hallway. About an hour and a half later, Jacob's bedroom is looking a little bit more furnished, as the paid movers carry all of his possessions inside. Jacob's sitting on top of his already made bed, telling the men exactly where to put his furniture and belongings. But he is more focused on finding his speaker wires, which he could have sworn he put them in the 3 boxes he carried inside himself. But he realizes that he put more junk in those boxes than he originally thought. After the movie men have all Jacob's furniture inside his room and exactly where he wants it placed, there is a knock upon the door which echoes throughout his small bedroom. He already knows who is at the other side. "Come in, Mother," Jacob finally states. "You know I shouldn't have to knock since I pay all the bills." His mother enters and looks at her son a little disappointed, but she immediately afterwards begins to look around and inspect everything like that her son did to his own bedroom. "You might as well have a clipboard and pen," Jacob mutters quietly under his breath. "What was that?" She walks back over towards the door, but instead of leaving, she stands right inside the doorway. "You know I did have a surprise for you, but since you are going to be rude to me, I'm not going to tell you what it is." She folds her arms in front of her chest. "Come on, Mom. You know I hate surprises." He finally looks over towards his mother and notices that she now has 4 legs. Immediately afterwards, he knows exactly what his mother's surprise might be. "I know that someone is standing behind you, so you could just tell me who it is or step towards the side." She gives him exactly what he wants and takes one step towards the right, and a very beautiful girl steps forward and smiles at him. Jacob, this is your new neighbor, Brittany. Brittany, this is my son, Jacob. Miss Whitmore makes the introductions. Brittany walks forward and up towards Jacob. Once he closes his jaw and wipes off the drool from his chin with one hand, then with his other hand he takes Brittany's hand and kisses it ever so slightly. Once his mother leaves the room, Jacob quickly returns to setting his stereo up so he can listen to some music. He glances over towards his very attractive guest. She appears to be getting bored rather quickly as she squeezes both of her hands into her front jean pockets. So he pops in one of his CDs into one of the disc trays. Brittany begins to dance to the beat of the song, which is beginning to play. We're going to get along just fine. Why do you say that? He examines her from top of her blonde hair to the soles of her pink tennis shoes, and she looks good. We both have the same taste in music, and that is always a good thing to have in common in any relationship. She sticks her right finger to her mouth, sucks on it for a second, then with the same finger waves Jacob to come over and dance with her. He doesn't hesitate going over there neither, or wrapping his hands around her waist, or sexually dancing with her. After a couple of minutes, his right hand slightly moves down her backside until finally reaching her left butt cheek and then squeezing her succulent meat and skin. Immediately, Brittany pushes him away from her. As she steps backwards a few steps, he trips over one of his own boxes. But it's okay, though, because he lands onto his already made bed. I like you, Jake, and for that I will talk to you. But if you do that again, I will never speak to you again. I understand. He apologizes. Brittany's watch begins to beat quickly and loudly. What does that mean? It means I have to go. It was nice meeting you. Brittany turns on her left heel and hightails it out of Jacob's bedroom. He hates to see her go, but he won't lie. He also loves watching her leave. However, he doesn't know when he's going to see her next, and this upsets him a little bit because he really likes her. Jacob, it's time to eat. Miss Whitmore calls out from the kitchen 30 minutes later. So he quickly stands up. Every time they move into a new place, he gets a major appetite. But once he walks out into the kitchen, there is no food at all, and his mother is missing in action. He didn't know what to do. A loud buzzing sound begins to echo throughout the apartment. The unexpected sound startles him a little. But knowing full well that there is somebody at the door, he decides to answer it, wondering the entire way to the door, who could be at the other end of that door? But his question is answered as he opens it and sees a beautiful blonde who is exactly his age looking back at him. Are you going to let me inside, or are you going to stand there and stare at me? Jacob doesn't say a word, steps out of her way, and allows her entrance to his apartment. I have something I want to ask you. She gets right to the point. Okay. He closes and locks the door, then turns around and looks at her. Now, mind you that I don't do this much with guys, so consider yourself lucky. But do you have enough money to take your neighbor out to dinner? She sweetly asks with a puppy dog look in her face. Well, seeing that my mother is missing, and there's no food whatsoever in that kitchen, my answer to your question is yes. I will take you out to dinner. Just let me get a couple things, and I will be right back. He turns on his right heel and walks into his bedroom. How did something like this happen to him? First his mother goes missing, and now Brittany, the cutest girl he has ever met, is asking him out on a date. He gets all ready to go, which only takes a couple minutes. Brittany is still standing next to the door once he gets out in the living room. So you ready to go? Yeah, the thing is that you will have to show me where a good place to eat is. I am new in this town. Jacob opens the door for Brittany and allows her to exit first. Don't worry, I've got the perfect place. Jacob closes and locks the door from the outside. Lucky for him, before his mother went missing, she left him a spare key. He does have a feeling that tonight is going to be a good night, after all, for him, knowing who he has to follow all night. But there is something going on in Jacob's apartment that nobody in their right mind wants to know about. Black smoke exits the ventilation duct right beside the couch. It takes shape in a middle-aged white male, wearing all black clothing and showing his pitch black eyes. He has only one thing on his mind: killing as many people as he can and stealing their souls. Well, chapter 1. Tell me what you think. Thanks for listening.